Hello students, today we'll have a discussion on rotary actuator. This is lecture number 3 for unit number 2. So what are hydraulic motors or rotary actuators? So a hydraulic motor is a device which converts the fluid power into rotary power or converts the fluid pressure into torque. Torque is a function of pressure, or in other words, the motor input pressure levels is determined by the resisting torque at the output shaft. The hydraulic pump is the device which converts mechanical energy and motion into fluid power, and hydraulic motor is not will act as a hydraulic pump when it runs backward, or a hydraulic pump will not act like a hydraulic motor when it runs backward. So there is a inherent differences between a hydraulic motor and hydraulic pump. So first difference is hydraulic motor deliver the torque at given pressure. The main emphasis on the mechanical efficiency and torque that can be transmitted. Whereas in hydraulic pump, it is a device which is delivering a flow at a given pressure. The main emphasis of a design is on volumetric efficiency and flow. The hydraulic motors are usually operates over a wide range of speed from low RPM to high RPM, whereas hydraulic pumps are operate within a smaller range. Most of the hydraulic motor designed for bidirectional application such as braking and rotary tables, whereas hydraulic pumps are usually operate in one direction. Motors are may be idle for some time, but pumps cannot be. Motors are subjected to high side loads, whereas pumps are also subjected to high side loads, but not as much as hydraulic motors. So what this table indicates that there are significant difference between hydraulic motor and hydraulic pump. And today we are going to study about hydraulic motors, which are nothing but called as a rotary actuator. So hydraulic motors can be applied directly to the work. They provide excellent control for the acceleration, operating speed, deacceleration, smooth reversal and positioning. They also provide flexibility in designing and eliminate much of the bulk and weight of a mechanical and electrical power transmission. So here comes a point that what is the difference between electrical motor and hydraulic motor. So first major difference is that electrical motors cannot be stopped instantly. Their direction of rotation cannot be reversed instantly. This is because the air gap between the rotor and the stator. Whereas in hydraulic motor you can have a precise control of the position, as well as you can rotate the load in either direction, clockwise or anti-clockwise, at within very short period of time. So electrical motors are heavy and bulky, whereas hydraulic motors are comparatively compact in nature. The moment of inertia to torque ratio is nearly 100, whereas the moment of inertia to the torque ratio is nearly 1. So what this ratio indicates is that for a particular capacity, a hydraulic motor has much more efficiency than the electric motor. So there are some basic types of motors. Those are gear motors, vane motors, piston motors, just like pumps. Gear motors are least efficient, most dirt tolerant, and have lowest pressure rating of all the three types. The piston motors are most efficient, least dirt tolerant, and very high pressure rating. Usually these piston motors are used in agricultural application like tractors. So vane and piston motors can be fixed or variable displacement type, but gear motors does not provide that kind of a flexibility. Those are always fixed displacement type. So first we'll come to the gear motors. Now the operating principle of gear motor and gear pump is nearly same. In both the cases, the fluid is getting pressurized because of the relative motion between the gears which are engaged. Now in case of gear motor, one of the shaft is connected to the output shaft. One of the gear is connected to the output shaft. So what it indicates that when there is a variation in the load, okay, there will be variation in the pressure of the fluid which is getting supplied to this particular motor, because of which you will have a flexible power output. So this is what is the difference between a gear pump and gear motor. Similarly, vane motors, in vane motors also, just like a vane pump, it has a elliptical casing and it has got vanes. Okay, as the rotor rotates, in these vanes will will travel outward because of the centrifugal force, and because of these vanes the pressure is created. From the sides the fluid enters, okay, and at this particular area where the gap between this rotor and this elliptical casing is minimum, there lies the output port. So from there the fluid move to the delivery side. So there is not much of a operational difference between vane motor and vane pump. Whereas axial piston pumps, we have already studied that these are connected to this swash plate. The pistons are connected to the swash plate, and the angle of this swash plate will decide the stroke length of this piston, and thereby it decides what will be the discharge through this pump, what will be discharged through this motor. Okay, so because of this you can easily you have a precise control over the power output in case of piston motors. So that is why these piston motors are usually used when you need a precise control over the output. You can take an example of all mobile hydraulics like JCB machine, or you can see a tractor, agricultural equipment. They all contain axial piston motors. There's some of the examples are also like road rollers, where you know that the road roller can travel in forward as well as backward direction at the same time. So how it is possible? That particular device does not have a reverse gear, but still it comes moves forward as well as backward, just because it has a combination of hydraulic pump and hydraulic motor which is acting. That is called as a hydrostatic mechanism. We will study that in later. But most of the time in that machine also, the type of motor is axial piston type. Next we will study about efficiency calculations for hydraulic motors. The performance of hydraulic motor depends on many factors, such as the precision of their parts, tolerances between the mating parts, and amount of internal and external leakage that will decide its volumetric efficiency, and friction forces or frictional losses between them will decide the mechanical efficiency, and together the product of mechanical efficiency and hydraulic efficiency or volumetric efficiency is nothing but the overall efficiency for the motor. So come to the first point, that is volumetric efficiency. This is ratio of theoretical flow rate of the motor should be supplied with divided by the actual flow rate supplied to the motor. So Q theoretical upon Q actual. Now why this Q actual is always greater than Q theoretical? Because we know that because of the leakage, you must have whatever the fluid which you assume to be theoretically supplied to the motor, the actual fluid which is supplied to the motor is always greater than that. Actual quantity is always greater than that. That is why this Q theoretical upon Q actual is the volumetric efficiency for the hydraulic motor. Similarly, come to the mechanical efficiency definition. It is the ratio of actual torque delivered by the motor to the torque delivered torque the motor should deliver theoretically. That is actual torque upon theoretical torque. So theoretically your motor should deliver more torque than the actual torque which is it is delivering. That means because of the mechanical losses, actually the motor deliver the less torque than that theoretically it should deliver. So theoretical torque is given by volumetric displacement multiplied by pressure upon 2 pi. that is Vd upon P upon 2 pi, whereas T actual, that is actual torque, is actual wattage delivered by the motor divided by speed. So coming to the overall efficiency, so how we can say that overall efficiency is nothing but the ratio of actual power delivered by the motor, mechanical power which is delivered by the motor, to the actual hydraulic power which is delivered to the motor. Okay, so the mechanical output from the motor is always less than the hydraulic power which is given to the motor. So because of which you know that actual power delivered by the motor will be given by actual torque multiplied by the speed, and actual power which is delivered, hydraulic power which is delivered to the motor, will be given by pressure multiplied by the actual discharge. So if we multiply by theoretical torque on the numerator as well as denominator, we can simplify this term as the overall efficiency is nothing but the product of volumetric efficiency and mechanical efficiency.